Hey guys! There are so many things I want to talk about, so this video is going to be a bit of a mess. Hey there, it's Medusa, and this is my season 5 finale and whole show review for Ghost Whisperer. This video will be bullet points of my incoherent thoughts, and it'll be in no particular order. This show is the embodiment of this meme, but with so many great ideas and storylines, making the often poor execution the more frustrating. Anyway, I cried so much when Andrea died and went into the light. I also thought that an evil ghost who feeds on guilt, mentioning Melinda feels guilt over someone called Andrea in late season 3, because it was really good because it gave an insight into Melinda's feelings along with Andrea not being mentioned for a while. So I thought that was a really good touch. One issue I did have with the show was in season 3 there was an autistic ghost, and for the most part it's fine, but at one point the characters all say that you get cured of autism when you die and go into like the afterlife, and I don't think the writers were mean-spirited. I think it was kind of like the same way that it would be like, I think they were thinking that it's the same way as like if you like lose your leg in a car accident, that in heaven you get your leg back or something. But it was, yeah, I don't think we were mean-spirited, but it was, and it only was like 2006, but it did feel a bit, you know, icky. I loved Melinda and Rick's relationship, and if Jim had legit died, I'll talk about this later, I would want them together. Rick left the show in the season 4 premiere and promises to return and help, but he's never even mentioned again, which is really annoying because he was such an important part of the show. And even if the actor couldn't come back or didn't want to come back, they really could have like made him have like a letter or something later on. They could have made it like a big, you know, a plot point, even just him finding out something, giving a letter. It would have been really easy to do that. I did really grow to love Eli though. At first I really didn't like him, but he really grew on me. Throughout the whole of season 2, 3, 4 and 5, I was continuously wondering, where the hell is Romano and his evil laughing buddy? If he was going to only be in the like season 1 finale and the premiere of season 2, why bring up the hat to trigger Melinda later on in season 2? Also, who was recruiting the Lost Dead Souls? I know Gabriel. By the way, why can he see ghosts? Who was he working for? Why did him and Tom conspire in that one scene? What was Gabriel's end goal? And where the hell was he? Romano, Gabriel and Tom Gordon's storylines are just completely abandoned. Okay, what the hell was the point of Tom Gordon? He tells off Gabriel for trying to kill Melinda, his alleged sister. And Tom appears sometimes to have genuine love or concern for Melinda, whether that be as a daughter or like a tool he can use in his ghost battles or whatever. For one, when it's revealed that Tom isn't Melinda's biological father, and then Tom confesses by taking her to their old childhood home that he killed her ghost-seeing real father in, and then goes, "Dad, don't call me Dad, I'm not your dad. You've learned too much now, prepare to die." Even though he's the one that told her everything. Also, why the hell is Tom trying to kill her after beating her father to death in order to steal her mother and her from him? Then Tom dies and his ghost then disappears, and him and his so-called son Gabriel aren't ever mentioned again. And then afterwards Melinda's real dad goes into the light after saying bye to Melinda and her mother, who was the worst human being ever, by the way, and doesn't even answer Melinda's questions. The whole ghost underground town plot was good, but it was almost completely forgotten, as was the whole May 11th tragedy plots and the way that they connected. It was just completely forgotten again, which really bugged me. I love Delia and Ned. Even though Andrea was very dearly missed on the show, Delia was the perfect new friend for Melinda. Delia being the middle-aged mother who with a son who goes from being a small child to a Wintry Hill extra in the matter of the hiatus between season 2 and 3. Finally, as much as I love Melinda, she is sometimes way too passive and sometimes way too defensive. I get that she's frustrated, like that people don't believe her and that she has all this responsibility, but Delia and Jim make some totally valid points that Melinda gets angry at, and Delia and Jim always end up apologising even though they make good points. I've watched a lot of shows where characters are way too harsh on the main character, but Melinda should have had some character development. Okay, now on to season 4. The scene where Jim tells Melinda he's dead, I thought was really, really emotional and really good. But the episode after that ruins it almost. Ghost Jim's interaction with Melinda don't feel good, for lack of a better word. And she is way too keen for Melinda's character to send him into the light, and he is way too keen to stay. And both felt completely out of character, and the interactions between Ghost Jim and his deceased brother just felt so unbelievably underwhelming that it was really jarring. Jim's mother and work friends mourn him as Jim decides to steal the corpse of a guy who just died and whose spirit just went into the light. He did this in order to stay with Melinda, not because she was in danger or anything. It felt so out of character for a consistently good and morally strict character. When Jim goes into Sam's body, the man that just died, he temporarily has amnesia. So Sam's family think that their child stroke brother stroke friend is still alive, but just with missing memories. It felt like such an unnecessary plot point, as he eventually gets his memory back and Jim goes back to basically just being her husband, basically being her husband again. And it's never ever mentioned again in the whole of season 5, the fact that he has his own mother who thinks he's dead. He has the mother of the body he stole who thinks he's alive. Well, the son is alive, and it's just really messy. It feels really uncomfortable. And yeah, so basically it's never mentioned again, apart from a mistake in season 5, when the writers, on the writer's part, wherein a background doctor calls for Dr. Clancy, even though Jim is still in Sam Lucas's body. I found that one of the best aspects of the show was Melinda's relationship with Jim, Andrea, Rick, Delia, Eli, and Melinda and Jim's relationship with Ned. Season 5 had some really awesome moments, and Aiden was adorable, and the concept of there being beings that Aiden exclusively could see and not Melinda, aka the shadows and the shinies, even though I wasn't the biggest fan of who what the shinies, like the actual realisation of what the shinies were. They were still really interesting. I really enjoyed that plot line. I really enjoyed this show, but I'm equally annoyed by it as every single overall season storyline is either completely abandoned or completely rushed. There are so many mistakes in the later seasons in terms of narrative structure, basically after season 2, and character development, which is so annoying because the continuity in the first season was so good. Anyway, overall, I don't regret watching this show, and I do love all the characters, especially Melinda. Also, all of Melinda's outfits were incredible. Please comment if you know where to get them. They're so cool. It was great. But yeah, there was just so much, it's so annoying, but I did enjoy this show. And thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and also subscribe. Bye!